The special meeting of the Southampton Town Board to order on this 7th day of December 2023. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. So today is Pearl Harbor Day. So let's do our moment of silence in memory of the lives lost on this day, December 7th, back in 1941. This is the 82nd anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. According to the National World War II Museum and Census Bureau, 2,403 people died in that attack. Navy made up the largest number of the casualties, 2,008 lives lost. The rest come from the Army and the Marines, as well as 68 civilians, and another 1,178 people wounded in the attack. So in the memory of the lives lost on that infamous day, let's join together in silence. Thank you. Please be seated. Madam Clerk, would you please read the special meeting notice followed by a roll call?
Members of the Town Board, special Town Board meeting Thursday, December 7th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. Please be advised that pursuant to Section 62 of Town Law, a special Town Board meeting will be held both in person in the Town Board Meeting Room, Southampton Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, New York, and via video conferencing on Thursday, December 7th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. for the purpose of considering the following. Notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of enhanced development rights of property located at 181 and 305 Halsey Lane, Bridgehampton, from the prospective property owner, Peconic Land Trust, Inc., as contract vendee, and amend the CPF management stewardship plan to include properties. Notice of public hearing to amend various sections of Town Code Chapter 299 entitled Taxi Cabs and Vehicles for Hire in connections with redirecting the current process of fingerprinting from the town clerk to the police department. J. Schneiderman, Supervisor, Town of Southampton, dated December 5th, 2023. Supervisor Schneiderman.
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara. Present. Councilman Martell.
Present.
Councilman Bouvier.
Here.
Councilman Schivoni.
Present.
All right, thank you, Sandy. Okay, there are two additional resolutions I'd like to try to walk on to our agenda. Resolution 45002. It's a notice of public hearing to amend various sections of the Town Code, Chapter 254, entitled Peddling and Soliciting, to administer existing printing process through the police department instead of the town clerk. Now, why does that sound like we already have that?
It's similar, but one's taxis and one's peddlers.
Oh, this is for peddlers. Okay. And then the other one, 45038, is a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of property purportedly owned by Agawam Lake LLC, located at 137 Pond Lane, Village of Southampton, New York, and to amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include that property. This is the swap piece for the Dozier Park that will enable the biofilter, and it sounds like there is at least a majority who now will support that, but hopefully we'll have the public hearing and then we can decide. So motion to walk those two on.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schivoni. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll take those up at the end. We're gonna go to public portion. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard in public portion? Seeing no one here at Town Hall, we're gonna go online.
There are no participants.
There are no participants. Okay, I'll make a motion to close public portion.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we're gonna go to the resolutions. The first one is 1434 of 2023, co-sponsored by the rest of the board. It's a notice of public hearing to consider acquisition, this is the right one. Yeah, notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of enhanced development rights at property located at 181 and 305 Halsey Lane, Bridgehampton, from the prospective property owner, Laconic Land Trust, Inc., as contract vendee, and amend the CPF stewardship plan to include the property.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone. So this would be a hearing scheduled for the 21st of December on a very large piece of farmland in Bridgehampton. It's a beautiful scenic vista that, it's been enjoyed for generations, and the CPF, obviously, one of the main goals is preservation of farmland. This is an expensive acquisition. It's 27.3 acres in an area that is one of the most expensive zip codes in the country. And this does involve tremendous amount of private donations as well. So there's, I want to say, around 18 million in private donations that is joining with the town's CPF proceeds to acquire the rights not only to build houses, but to also restrict the farming on this property to food farming as well, to enhance rights. Okay? Any questions about it?
No, just a comment, though. Some of the best agricultural dirt in the country is Bridgehampton loam, and it's a strip of soil that goes through the South Fork of Long Island, and this property is made up of Bridgehampton loam. So it is a productive agricultural piece, and I think, even though it's incredibly expensive, it's a good acquisition, in my opinion.
Right. Yes, we'd lose it to a subdivision.
Right.
More big houses, less farmland. So, certainly our agricultural roots are something I think we cherish. So, it's unfortunate that these properties are so expensive, but it's really fortunate that we have the community preservation funds to enable us to step in and compete with the development interests on a property like this.
And this is a piece that the farmers really want to farm. They want to work this.
Yeah. All right, so did you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, I do greatly appreciate the private money that is coming into this to offset the costs. And it's worth noting that the underlying fee will be through an RFP process by Peconic Land Trust, sold to a farmer to keep it in active farming.
Exactly.
A place they would never be able to afford for $48 million for farming.
It's,
And you do have,
yeah.
and you do have the preserve piece to the west of this property already. There's a large portion of the property.
It is certainly one of the highest prices we've ever paid on a single acquisition. It's actually multiples, like 3 lots, but, yeah, John?
So there's an easement associated with this and to keep it in food farming, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It's an enhanced easement. And to,
It's
we're
enhanced,
adding
and that's the point I wanted
Yes.
to make.
it's probably the most enhanced we've ever done, because we're also putting in very specific language regarding the vista.
Yeah.
And they can't do, a horse farm or a tree farm, or it has to be farmed
Wineries.
for food.
It has to be food farmed,
Consumable food.
Yeah.
and there'll be restrictions on, where buildings can go and things like that, so. All right, so we had a motion and a second. I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next one, 1435 of 2023, is a notice of public hearing to amend various sections of Town Code, Chapter 299, entitled Taxi Cabs and Vehicles for Hire, in connection with redirecting the current process of fingerprinting from the town clerk to the police department.
Second?
You don't want to take people's fingerprints, Cindy?
Well, many years ago, when I first started here, we used to do the fingerprinting ourselves in the building with code enforcement. And then companies took over that process and such, but we do so few of them, and there's a lot of auditing involved in it, that for a dozen fingerprints, it's really not effective for us to continue. So we've been working for a year and a half with the Department of Criminal Justice and the Police Department in order to decommission my office and transfer the fingerprinting process to the PD, and that just finally came through. Took a long time, but
Yeah.
it finally came through, and we've been instructed that this needs to be changed to reflect that by the end of this year.
Well,
So that's
well, it
why
makes
we're
sense.
putting it
I mean,
on
they're
there.
all set up to take fingerprints, so.
We will retain the administration of the process in my office of the application process. It's just the fingerprinting that's going to move over to them, because they make the determinations anyway for the denials, so I would be forwarding them over to them to review, to get back to us as to how to proceed.
And this will be December 21st as well, which is the Thursday at 1 PM. It was seconded by Councilman Scavone. I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it's the same premise for the peddlers one as well.
All right, so we're going to the two that we added on. 45002 is a notice of public hearing to amend various sections of the town code, chapter 254, entitled peddling and soliciting to administer the existing fingerprint process through the police department instead of the town clerk.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scavone, so it's just the same thing, just a different section of the code. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's also same date, right, Cindy?
Yes.
This has to be done by the end of the year, December 21st. Okay, we voted on that, yes? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, 45038, notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of property purportedly owned by Agawam Lake LLC, located at 137 Pond Lane, Village of Southampton. This is, and amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Martell. This is gonna be on the 21st as well. This is a big piece of property. I can't remember exactly how many acres. 12 maybe.
4.8.
Oh, sorry, 4.8, and it's 13.25 million. It's adjoins a piece that we already own, and this would be potentially developed by the village as part of the Agawam Park complex there, providing additional public amenities overlooking Lake Agawam. All right. So there's a motion and a second. This is for a public hearing on December 21st. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, approved. Okay, that's all for resolutions. Is there any other business? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn our special meeting.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouvier. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. We'll give Charlie a minute to set up for the work session.